There's time to do some work. Okay, what is the number in front? I'm at page 1, guys. Chapter 2, page 1. What's the number in front? Your A. Your A is 1. Is positive more than 0. So your fx, I'm seeing the blue book. I didn't change the book. Your fx will be minimum, maximum, guys. Minimum. What's my minimum? My minimum is 5. When I want inside the bracket 0, x is 2. They say state the maximum minimum with a corresponding value of x. This is your minimum maximum. This is your corresponding value of x. Yeah. The corresponding value of x is what we call your axis of symmetry. Yeah. Remember, your fx can be minimum maximum. It is minimum if a is more than 0. It is maximum when a is less than 0. The minimum maximum value is the one outside the bracket. It can only be this value when the one inside the bracket 0, x is 2. Okay, have a look at this. Oh, I've given you an example similar to this. Your a is less than 0, right? Hello? Now gx has a minimum, maximum? Maximum. What's my maximum value, guys? Negative 8. Your gx can only be negative 8 if x is negative 4. Yeah, remember the one inside the bracket equals 0, x equals negative 4. Here's the thing. We look at the number in front, everybody. If the number in front is more than 0, your y has a minimum. What's a minimum? Minimum value is the one outside, the one when the one inside is 0, x is 3. Okay, for the second one, maybe it's better you rearrange it as in you put a 7 at the back. Your a is less than 0, your y has a maximum. Guys, what's my maximum? My maximum is 7 when x is negative 1. Okay, sometimes you may have to rearrange it. Okay, here they say express this in this form. So, number 1, x squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, now just focus on the first two. I need you guys to remember, I need to put a bracket square and I need to minus it off. The 7 I keep, leave it out. Okay, when you complete the square, it's the first two that I'm concerned about. The 7 doesn't affect anything. This is minus 2. Okay, immediately, what is minus? That's straight away 4, right? So this way minus, plus 3. Okay, then they say write down the coordinate of the stationary point. Now, your A, everybody, if you don't write anything here, means your A is 1, not 0, 1, sorry. So A is more than 0, right? Is 1. So it has a minimum, maximum. Minimum, what's my minimum? Minimum, okay, by the way, I just think this is in front of bracket. In front of bracket. This is inside the bracket. This is, or should I say behind or outside? You want to say outside or behind the bracket? Okay, how does this affect anything? This is your A, this is your X, this is your P, this is your Q. The number in front of bracket determines whether it's minimum or maximum. More than 0, minimum. Less than 0, maximum. The number inside the bracket is you're finding your x value, which represent your axis of symmetry, or we say the corresponding value of x. Alright? The number behind bracket is represent your minimum or your maximum value. So what's my minimum? I know this minimum because this number is positive. I know the minimum value is 3 because it's at the back, behind. The one inside the bracket is x minus 2, so x is 2. Listen. So this fx, you can take half of 10. Half of 10 is 5. Square it. Now what is 5 squared? 25. Put a negative. I still have a 13 here. So this will give us negative 12. Right? So what is the least value? Least, minimum, maximum. In this case, we know it's minimum. Your A is more than 0. Minimum is the least value. Your minimum is negative 12 when x plus 5 is 0. X is negative 5. Yeah, you're supposed to write the least value of fx. In this case, is negative 12. And the value of x for which it occurs, negative 5. That's all. Here, maybe perhaps we can call it fx, we can call it y. Number 1, I rearrange first. It's easier to see if I put fx, x squared first, followed by x, followed by constant. Number 2, remember if the number in front is negative, what must I do? Factorize. Okay? Now, let's take half of it. Guys, always remember after you complete the square, it's always in this form, a bracket square minus this number. But what do I put inside this bracket here? X plus half of 8, 4. If this is positive, this is positive. If this is negative, you can put a negative here. And what is 4 square? 16. What do I do with the negative? You multiply inside. And what is my answer? 19. Yeah. So the question says it must be expressed in this form. So can you see I need to put a 19 in front and put 4 at the back. What's your A? Everybody, my A is 19. What's my B? My B is 4. I need to take out the negative first. So I start by taking out negative. Maybe I rearrange it first if you can't see it. I take out the negative. This is 6x. Keep the 8 outside. Alright? Hello? Correct now. Now this one becomes negative 6. Isn't it? Now next we need to complete the square. Take half of negative 6. Hello? Plus 8. So this will give us plus 17. Hello? Am I right? Yes? Okay. So the first part, you're done. Express in this form. Okay, sorry, I think I need to rewrite this because A is written first. Okay, next, hence or otherwise, find the coordinate of the stationary point. So what's your coordinate stationary point? Very simple. Minimum, maximum. Maximum A is less than 0. Your Y has a maximum. Guys, what's my maximum? My maximum is 17. When the one inside the bracket 0x is 3. So coordinate means you have to write x followed by y. Everybody, what's your coordinate? 3, 17. Hello? Yeah. Look at this question here. What should I take out? 2. If I take out 2, you're left with x squared minus 12x. Keep the 35 outside. Okay, number 2, I'm going to take half of minus 12. What is half of minus 12? Minus 6. I square it. 6 squares what? Everybody, 6 squares 36. Let us multiply inside. This will be negative 72 plus 35. Answer negative 30. Is it 37? Yes? Yeah? Half of negative 12 is negative 6. Negative 6 squares is 36. Always put a minus. These two, you got to times inside back, you get negative 72. Minus 72 plus 35 minus 37. Okay, next, write down the coordinate stationary point. Now look at your y here. The number in front of your A is positive 2, more than 0. So your y will have a minimum, maximum? Minimum. What's the minimum? Negative 37. The next is 6. So coordinate, you have to write 6, negative 37. Ready? So first we take out 3. You're left with x squared plus 2x. Yeah. Okay. And then what do? Plus 5. So can we complete the square? Half of 2 is what? 1. You square it. Then you minus 1. Then you plus 5. Okay. Next, what do I do with the 3? You multiply inside. And your answer is... This right. Okay. Now everybody, what's your ABC? My A is 1. My B is 2. Fx, we can call this as fx if you like, but I like to rearrange it such that the x squared comes first, the x is second, the constant put last. Okay. The next thing is, what do I do with the negative 5? We can take it out. 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2 plus 1. Okay. Now let us take half of negative 2. Negative 1, you square it. Negative 1 square is 1. Okay. Hello? What I do with the negative 5? You multiply inside, becomes positive 5. And what's your final answer? 6. So you say that your f greatest value. Greatest value means your maximum. Maximum. My maximum value should be. They ask for the greatest value. Your greatest value is 6. Guys, for sometimes fine. You're supposed to express this 1 equals to 8x minus 2x squared minus 3 in this form. So number one, you go to, perhaps I'll rearrange it first. It's easier to see in this form. Then I'll take out negative 2. This becomes x squared. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4x. Keep the negative 3 outside because negative 3 is not involved in the process of completing the square. Then we're going to complete the square by taking half of negative 4, which is minus 2. You square it. Then you take this, you square it. Negative 2 squared is positive 4, but you always put the negative in front. And remember, when you expand this, you have the extra term plus 4, and I have to minus that 4 off to get the expression before. Now, this negative 2 I'm going to times inside 1 by 1. So this is going to give us plus 8 minus 3, which is plus 5. Okay, so in this case, what is your ABC? My A will be negative 2, my B will be negative 2, my C will be 5. But you don't have to state the value ABC here, they just ask you to express in this form. B, hence write out the coordinate stationary point. Now, to know whether it's minimum or maximum, you can see your A here, coefficient of x squared, your A is less than 0. So your Y has a maximum value or maximum point. So my maximum value is 5, the one outside the bracket, which is 5. Now this happens when one inside the bracket, x minus 2 is 0, therefore x equals to 2. So your coordinate of your stationary point will be, we write x first, followed by y. That's it. That's your answer. Yeah. Number in front is 9, right? So let me just write this 9x squared plus 6x minus 4. Step 1, identify what's my A. Everybody, what I put here? 3x. Okay, I'm going to put a 2ab. I'm going to put a b squared, going to minus it off, and then minus 4. Alright, so what is my A? 3x. What's my B? To get 6, what should I put here? 1. What I put here? 1. Okay, but I cannot simply add 1. I need to subtract this off. Remember, if you create an extra term, you need to cancel out or balance out so that this equation is the same as the one before. So this 3 term, I can combine it. This is a minus 1 minus 4. Guys, what is minus 1 minus 4? 5. Okay, so done. Okay. Once you're done, they say fx equals this, write down the range. Okay, range is the same as minimum maximum, but we want to write in inequality form. So remember, this whole thing is your fx now. What's your fx? Minimum or maximum? Minimum. Because your a is positive, right? Remember your a is 9. A is a coefficient x squared. If it's positive, it's a minimum. My minimum is what? Guys, what's my minimum? Negative 5. How do you write in inequality form? Minimum means more than equals negative 5. If they ask you to write range, range you write in this form, yeah? Inequality form. Okay? Let's say you're gonna identify what's your A and your B. Let's figure out. This is 2x. So I need to put a 2x. What's my B? To get 12, I must put a 3. If I put a 3, this should be a 3. This should be a 3. Now this whole thing I can combine it into 2x plus 3 squared. Now what is 3 squared? 9. Then you plus 7. Minus 9 plus 7 gives us, hey, minus 9 plus 7 is minus 2. So with that, can you tell me what's the least value? Least value is the minimum. We know your A is more than 0, right? Why? Okay, what's your minimum, guys? Your minimum should be, now your minimum can only be negative if the one inside the bracket is 0, x is negative 3 over 2. Yeah, your unknown is h here. So, and you see that you are given in 2 forms. One is called a general form, one is called a completed square form, or sometimes they call it a vertex form. So which one would you, okay, I want to show you 2 methods. Method 1, you know that this is called general form. General form to this form, or completed square form, vertex form, you have to complete the square. Right? But if I go from here to here, what I have to do simply is to expand. Which one is easier? Expand or complete the square? Expand. So that's why you must look at the question. Look at the situation. Here they gave us this and this. They are basically the same equation. So it's actually easier if I start from here and I expand it. So when I expand, I get x squared 2kx and k squared. Then I take the 2 and I multiply inside. Then I copy this. Yeah. Okay, so what's my ABC? This is my A, this is my B, this is my C. So this fella here, I copy down here and put it below. Right? First, second, third. Just write in this order: A, B, C. So what's my H and K? This is my H. This is my K. So what can I do first to find H and K? I can compare the coefficient of x. Coefficient means the number in front of x. The number in front of x is what? 4k. And 4k is now 12. Right? So what's our k? K is 3. What else can I compare? I can compare my constant. Constant is the one without any x. This is the one without any x. So h is 5 minus 2k squared. So it's 5 minus 18, negative 13. Correct or not? Yeah? Because they're the same function now. Yeah? Correct? Okay, now lastly, I've got my h and k. How do you find the maximum value? Which one is more helpful? General form, can you find out your maximum minimum from here? No. Vertex form or completed square form? You can, right? So I know that my k is 3. I sum inside here. So my y is now 5 minus 2x minus 3 squared. Perhaps it's better for me to put the 5 at the back. Right? So you can see clearly. Now, what's the number in front? What's your A? My A is negative 2, right? Minimum, maximum? Maximum. So my maximum is what? Is 5 when x is 3. Okay? Okay? Yeah, so that's my maximum value. Okay, the first thing you need to do, like I said, you want to expand. Expanding is much easier than computing the square. Starting from here, when I expand, I get x squared plus 2bx plus b squared. The minus 6 we copy last. This one we write first. Qx we write in the middle. Last term is minus 2. So when you compare, guys, you need to compare term by term. For example, the middle term here is okay. I start comparing constant. I think it's easier. My constant is b squared minus 6. The result is negative. So when I bring over, b squared is now 4. B is 12. Now you don't have to put plus minus because they say p and q are positive constant. Okay, how about your coefficient of x? Coefficient of x means the number in front of x. Now my number in front of x in this case is q, and q is 2b. Since b is 2, I sub inside q will be 4. Yep. Am I right? We get 4? Yes? Okay. Now how do you find coordinate turning point? So actually, remember what I say, this one is a general form. This is a completed square form. Which one can tell us the minimum maximum? The second one, the completed square form. But I need to know my b and I need to sub inside. So when I substitute inside, you get x plus 2 squared minus 6. Okay, my a is 1, so it's more than 0. My y will have a minimum. Guys, what's my minimum? My minimum is negative 6. My minimum can only be negative 6 when x is negative 2. Right? Remember, if your a is positive, it's a minimum, and minimum is 1 outside. Negative 6. That happens when the one inside is 0, x is minus 2, sorry, and we want to write the coordinate. Coordinate, we write x followed by y. Okay. Yes.